Okay, good morning all. This is an extra class for linear motion topic. Okay, before you start in today's lesson, we can discuss the class allocations for this vacation. Okay. Okay. Our normal class days are Sundays and Mondays, no? Right? මම හිතන්නේ 14 14 කියන්නේ ඉරිදා කරන එක එච්චර හොඳ නැහැ කියලා මම හිතනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ කට්ටියම ෆ්‍රී එකේ ඉන්න දවස. So I think the Sunday class will not be there because it is New Year day. Right? And then 14th class එක අපිට නිබර කරන්න නැහැ. මොකද මම ඊත් සිංගල් මීඩියම් කට්ටිය තව සිංගල් මීඩියම් එකලා මේකත් කැමති නැහැ 13 කරන්න. නැකම නැහැ මේක acceptable මොකද ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ ෆ්‍රී දවස් එක. ඒත් 15 Monday class එක නම් මම කියන්නේ අනිවාර්යෙන් අපි කරමු කියලා. Monday class එක Monday මම ටයිම් එක වෙනස් කරන්න නැහැ. මොකද එතකොට පොඩි කාලයක් ඕගොල්ලන්ට තියෙනවා. ටයිම් එක අර ටයිම් එකම තියාගෙන Monday class එක අපි evening 7:30 පටන් ගමු. ඊළඟට අපිට මේ වගේ morning sessions කරන්න පුළුවන්. මම morning sessions කරන්න පුළුවන් මේ ටයිම් ටික ඕගොල්ලන්ට මම WhatsApp එකේ දාන්නම්. ඒ WhatsApp එකේ දාන ටයිම් වලින් ඕගොල්ලන්ට පුළුවන් ටයිම්ස් හැම එකටම වෝට් කරන්න. එතකොට මට මේ බලා ගන්න පුළුවන් කොහොමද මොනවද දාන්න පුළුවන් එක්ස්ට්‍රා ඩේස් කියලා. හරිද? මේ ඕගොල්ලන්ටයි සිංගල මීඩියම් කට්ටියට දෙගොල්ලන්ට. හරි? මේ ඒක මම ඕගොල්ලන්ට එවනවා මේ අද දැන් ඉවර වෙලා මම ඒකට එවන්නම් කොහොමද මේ next 2 weeks කොහොමද අපි class allocate කරන්නේ extra classes කියලා. හරිද? හොඳයි. Okay, I think we cannot wait more, so we can start today's lesson, Puta. Okay. Last week we have done the displacement in the nth second. That means suppose you are asked to find. Suppose there's a object here, and the object starts its motion with the initial speed u, and after some time, suppose after 10 seconds, it has displaced suppose 100 meters. It has displaced 100 meters as assumption. Okay. Okay, this displacement is called as the displacement within 10 seconds. Within 10 second time period, the displacement is 100 meters. Okay. But the displacement within the nth second, within the 10th second, is different from this one. That means, that word means the displacement within 9 and 10 seconds. Okay. Last time we have discussed that thing. Suppose this is the initial time 0, first second, second, third one, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one, seventh one, eighth one, ninth one, 10th one. Okay. A second. Okay. In between 0 to 1, we call it as first second. In between 1 to 2, we call it as second. In between 3 to 2 to 3, we call it as third second. In between 3 to 4, we call it as fourth second. Likewise, 4 to 5, fifth second, 5 to 6, sixth second, 6 to 7, seventh second, 7 to 8, eighth second, 8 to 9, ninth second, 9 to 10, 10th second. That is the rotation. Okay. So if you are asked to find the displacement within the 10th second, that means you have to find the displacement in between these two. In between these two. Okay. If you are asked to find the displacement within 6th second, that means you have to find the displacement in between 5 and 6 seconds. Okay. So the first you have to find the displacement after 6 seconds, then you have to find the displacement after 5 seconds, then after that you have to get the difference between them. That is the answer. Okay. Did you get my point? Question? Okay. So I think we have done one question in our previous class. What is that? We have discussed about the displacement within 10th second in the 10th second, no? In the 10th second. In that case, we have determined the displacement up to 10 seconds. Displacement up to 10 seconds. Then displacement up to 9 seconds. Displacement up to 9 seconds means after 9 seconds, the object was at this location. Displacement within 10 seconds means the object will be at this location after 10 seconds. Therefore, in between 9 and 10 seconds, the object has displaced this much of displacement. This much of displacement. Therefore, we have to get that difference to calculate the displacement within 10th second. Okay, that is the procedure. Okay. So if you are asked this type of question in your essay paper, you have to go to this basic argument. What is the basic argument? If you are asked to find the displacement in the 10th second, then you have to show this argument. Displacement in the 10 second equal displacement after 10 second minus displacement after 9 seconds. Then you can calculate as you should. Okay. So that is the procedure for essay question. But if you are asked this type of question in the MCQ paper, there is very small method, very short method to do this. Okay. Now we can discuss that thing. Okay. We can derive an equation to solve this type of questions in MCQ. This is a shortcut method. Okay. Then write a topic. Displacement in the nth second. 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 Okay. Suppose there's an object with an initial velocity u and a constant acceleration of a. Okay. Okay, displacement in the nth second means you have to find the displacement after n minus 1 second. No, displacement after n minus 1 second. The displacement after n minus 1 second, that is S1. Then you have to find the displacement after n second. Total displacement after n second. S2. This is S2. So displacement in the nth second, normally we represent it as Sn. This displacement is Sn. Displacement in the nth second. So according to this, Sn is equal S2 minus S1. So you have to find the S2 first, then S1 second, then you can find the S1. Sn. To find S1 and S2, there are 1, 2, and 3 known factors. What are those? You know the initial velocity, you know the acceleration, and you know the time. Okay. Time, acceleration, and initial velocity. Time, acceleration, and initial velocity. So then what is the most appropriate equation to find S? We know three things: U, A, and T. U, A, and T. So if you know U, A, and T, so what will be the equation? Yes, very good. Yes, very good. To find S, that is S equal UT plus AT square. UT plus half AT square. So suppose this is point A, this is point B, this is point C. Then I can apply from A to B to this direction, SC equal UT plus half AT square. From this equation, I can calculate S1. So S1 is equal UT. UT. U means initial velocity. T means n minus 1. N minus 1. Plus half A. T squared means again n minus 1 squared. N minus 1 squared. That is equation number 1. Then that is S1. Then S2. I can find S2. Then I can apply this same equation from A to C. From A to C. From A to C, I can apply S equal UT plus half AT square. From that, I can write S2 is equal UN plus half A n square. This is 2. That's 2. So the displacement in the nth second. The displacement in the nth second means the difference between S2 and S1. The difference between S2 and S1. That is Sn. Sn means the displacement in the nth second. In the nth second. Therefore, Sn is equal S2 minus S1. So I can write S2. So what is S2? S1. UN plus half n squared minus UN minus 1 minus half a n minus 1 square. N minus 1 square. Okay. Then I can bring this one close to this un term. So un minus un, you can expand this one. Minus un, minus u, plus 1 is plus u. Plus u. Plus half a. Half a is a common factor for this one. Then this is a n square. This is there's n square minus n minus 1 square. N minus 1 square. Okay. Now I can simplify this one. This one will be cancelled out. So u plus half a. So n square, you can use difference of squares. Difference is squares. So n minus 1. N minus n. Sorry. If I use difference of squares, n plus n minus 1 into n minus 1. That means n plus 1, no? So this one will be cancelled out. There is only 1 here. So 1 into this one is same thing. Therefore, Sn is equal u plus half a times 2n minus 1. 2n minus 1. 2n minus 1. This is the shortcut method. You can use this equation to find the displacement in the nth second. So when you are using this equation, you have to determine the initial velocity and the acceleration first. Then you can use this equation. If you know the acceleration and initial velocity, very easy method. This one is very easy method, especially in projection, vertical projections, because in vertical projection we know the gravitational acceleration. So we know that we know the value of a. Then if you know the initial velocity, then you can very quickly use this equation. But remember, this equation is valid only for MCQs. Okay. When you are doing MCQ, you can use this equation as a shortcut method. But when you are doing an essay question, you have to go to the basic concept. So what is the basic concept? The displacement in the nth second is equal displacement after n second minus displacement after n minus 1 second. So that is basic concept. Okay. Then write this topic. You have written this topic, no? So after write this topic, you can copy down this one until this. Okay. Okay. Tanggal dia kan? Okay, write a question. Write a question. A body is moving with a constant acceleration of 10 ms minus 2. A body is moving with a constant acceleration of 10 ms minus 2. If if it starts the motion, if it starts the motion from rest, from rest, from rest, find the ratio, find the ratio find the ratio between the distance traveled. Find the ratio between the distance traveled distance traveled in the first, second, and third seconds. First, second, and third second. Distance travel in this first, second, and the third seconds. මේක අපිට ගොඩාක් ඕනි වෙන්නේ මේ අපේ ඊළඟ මේකත් එක්ක මොකද්ද ප්‍රොජෙක්ටයිස් කරන දරත් එක්ක මේ ඉක්වේෂන් එක ගොඩක් ඕන නම් මේක ගොඩක් famous equation එකක් මේ questions papers වල A-level questions papers වල ගොඩක් අහලා තියෙන කතන්දරයක් ඔය වගේ ratios සහ තියෙනවා. අපේ equation එකෙන් නොගින් අර long method එකෙන් හදුවොත් එහෙනම් ගොඩාක් වෙලා යනවා. හැබැයි equation එකෙන් හදුවොත් තත්පර දෙක තුලින් හදන්න පුළුවන්. You can use this equation. You can use this equation now. We will discuss. We will discuss. No, actually, I need to do this question using that that my equation, because that is the easiest way to do this type of questions. Because normally this type of questions are in MCQ paper. As this example, actually, this example is a MCQ question. Okay, MCQ question. But if you go for a longer method, then definitely you cannot solve this type of questions within 2 minutes. So you have to go for a short method, like this equation. So therefore, I need to do this equation using, I need to do this question using the previous equation. Okay. Actually, you can solve these questions using VT graph. Okay, VT graph. Look at this one. According to this question, the initial velocity is 0. Initial velocity is 0. Acceleration is 10. Acceleration is 10. Okay. You know this equation. What is that one? Displacement in n second is equal u plus a over 2 times 2n minus 1. 2n minus 1. Okay. So, as u is 0 for all the equations, u is 0 for all the equations, then Sn is equal a over 2 times 2n minus 1. No? And this is the same object number. Therefore, acceleration also a constant. It is also constant. Okay? Therefore, Sn directly proportional to 2n minus 1 only. 2n minus 1 only. 2n minus 1 only. Because u is 0, therefore Sn directly proportional. Sn is equal to a over 2 times 2n minus 1, and a is a constant. Therefore, that one Sn directly proportional to 2n minus 1. 2n minus 1. N means n second. So therefore S1 to S2 to S3 is equal S1. S1 means you have to apply n equal 1. If you apply n equal 1, 2 minus 1 means 1. If you apply n equal 2, 4 minus 1 is 3. If you apply n equal 3, that means 6 minus 1 is 5. So that is the ratio. That is the ratio. 1 to 3 to 5. Long method like you scared. So this is the shortest method. This is the shortest method. Did you get my calculation? Especially this one? No. You understand? Do you need any explanation about this one? Again? How I get this proportional method?
Yes, if possible, sir. One more time.
Huh?
One more time, sir.
Okay. Actually, Pute, I have done this question as a MCQ question. Okay. This is not the way to do this type of question if the question is a essay question. Okay. But I have done this one as a MCQ question because I need to teach you what is the shortest method to do this type of question. Okay. හරි. ඔන්න මේක ලියන්න. ඊට පස්සේ මම ආයෙ explain කරන්න. Okay. You can clearly see in this equation, initially u is 0. Initially u is 0. It is dual. So Sn is equal, then Sn is equal a over 2 times 2n minus 1. No, because u is 0. Then, as this is a single motion, a acceleration also a constant. No, it is equal to 10. It also constant. Therefore, acceleration is a constant. That means Sn over 2n minus 1 is a constant. No, a over 2 is a constant. It's a constant. No, it's a constant. So, if the ratio of two if the ratio of two quantities is a constant, then we call it as directly proportionality. Directly proportional. Therefore, as the ratio of these two is a constant, Sn directly proportional to n minus 1. To n minus 1. Therefore, we can write 2n minus 1 instead of Sn, because it is directly proportional to Sn. Okay. Therefore, n means n second. N second. So the displacement in the n second directly proportional to 2n minus 1. So displacement in the first second is S1. Displacement in the second is S2. Displacement in the third second is S3. So if I apply n equal 1 here, 2 minus 1 is 1. If I apply n equal 2 here, 4 minus 1, 3. If I apply 3 here, 6 minus 1 is 5. Did you get that one? You know, sure.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you, sir.
This method means proportionality method is very, very shortest method when we are doing MCQ questions. That's why I have done this question using this method. So this is a method of MCQ. Okay, proportionality method. Proportionality method is a method of doing MCQ questions, because instead of writing all the equations, instead of writing every terms in the equation, we can write only few terms using the proportionality method. So if there is a constant term or constant physical quantity within two objects or two some cases, then we can remove that physical quantity. Okay, like this one. Okay, for all the three cases, A is a constant. A is a constant. So if you are going to get the ratio, definitely A will be cancelled out. A will be cancelled out. Therefore, without A, we can take Sn is directly proportional to 2n minus 1. Okay. But the concept behind this is this one. U is 0, therefore Sn is equal A over 2 times 2n minus 1. So if you bring 2n minus 1 here, Sn over 2n minus 1 is a constant. That means the ratio between these two is a constant. So if the ratio is a constant, definitely these physical quantities are in direct proportionality. Therefore, I can say Sn is directly proportional to 2n minus 1. 2n minus 1. Okay. So this is the concept. This is the concept. But when you are doing the question, you can remove the constant physical quantities in between two cases or in between three cases. We can remove the constant physical quantities. Okay. So this method is called as proportionality method. Proportionality method when you are doing MCQ questions. Okay. But මෙච්චරනේ ඔයාට දැන් මේක බලන්න ඔයාලා මේක හරියට යූස් කරනවා නම් මේ මෙන්න මේක ලියන්න ඕනෙත් නෑ කෙලින්ම මෙතනට වෙන්න පුළුවන් සිංගල් ස්ටෙප් එකෙන් මේක ගන්න පුළුවන් ක්වෙස්චන් එක දැක්කද ඒක මම කියන්නේ හරි මෙතඩ් එක ඔලුවට දාගන්න සිංගල් ස්ටෙප් එකෙන් ගන්න පුළුවන් මේක ඔයාලා නිකම්ම ලියන්න පුළුවන් මොකද ඔයා දන්නවා නම් පුතේ මේක කොන්ස්ටන්ට් එකක් මේක 0 කියලා ඊළඟට මේ කොන්ස්ටන්ට් එකක් කියලා දන්නවා නම් කෙලින්ම Sn කියන එක equal 2n - 1 කියන එක ඔළුවෙන් තියාගන්න ඕන. equal කියලා කියන්නේ proportional කියන එක. එහෙනම් ratio එක ගත්තොත් මේ ratio එකක් නහන්නේ. ratio එක ගත්තොත් අනිවාර්යෙන් a කියන එක cancel out වෙලා යනවා. Therefore you can use 2n - 1 instead of Sn. Therefore without writing these two steps you can go for the final steps. Final step. මාරම ලේසි මේ ස්ටෙප් එක මම ඒකයි කිව්වේ මේක shortest method එකක් මේක ඕගොල්ලන්ට ගොඩක් මොන වෙනවා මොකද මේක ගොඩක් අර famous question එකක් A level MCQ paper හරිද A level MCQ papers වල තියෙන famous question එකක් මොකද මේ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා ඔය වගේ අර displacement in the nth second. Especially you have to calculate the ratio between distance travel in nth second. Okay. හරි මේ දාගන්න කොහොමද කරේ කියලා දාගන්න බලනවාම එකම එක equation of linear motion එකක්වත් use කරාද මෙතනට එකක්වත් use කරේ නැහැ equation of linear motion එකක්වත් use කරේ නැහැ vt curves use කරේ නැහැ කිසිම දෙයක් use කරන්නේ නැතුව මම equation එක හදුවා ඒකයි කියන්නේ මේක shortest method කියලා මේ වගේ දේවල් තියෙනවා equations කිසිම දෙයක් use කරන්නේ නැතුව අපිට අර වගේ දේවල් කරන්න පුළුවන් තැන් තියෙනවා හරිද ඔයගොල්ලෝ questions කරනකොට මම ඒකයි කිව්වා නිරන්තරයෙන් ඔය questions කරනකොට මේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ට තේරෙනවා මොකද කරන්න ඕනේ මෙතන දෙය කියලා. තමන් ඊයේත් මේ මොකද්ද සිංගල් මීඩියම් ක්ලාස් එකේදී පුතේ මේ questions වගේක් දුන්නා ඒක දුන්නේ අර overtext කරන ඒවා ගැන ඒ කියන්නේ ST curve එකෙන් සහ VT curve එකෙන් ඒක තමයි මේ මම කරන්න යන්නේ. එතනින් මම දැක්ක එක කාරණයක් තමයි ළමයි මේකට ගොඩක් වෙලාව ගන්නවා වැඩි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් within 2-3 minutes කරන්න පුළුවන් දේවල් ගොඩක් වෙලාවට යනවා වෙලා ගොඩක් ගන්නවා වැඩි. හරියට කරනවා හරියට කරා වුණාට වෙලා ගන්න වැඩි. ඒක හදා ගන්න ඕනි. පුළුවන් තරම් shortest method වලට අපි යන්න ඕනි. shortest method වලට අපිට කියන්නේ ලියන්න නැතුව ඉන්නවා කියන එක නෙවෙයි. අපිට ආගියුමන්ට් එකක් තියෙනවනේ මොකක් හරි ලොජික් එකක් තියෙනවා අපි අනිවාර්යෙන් ලියන්න ඕනේ essay paper එක. හරිද? ඒකත් ලියන ගමන් පුළුවන් තරම් මේ වගේ shortest method වලට යන්න ඕනි calculate කරන්න. ඒක හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න. හරි. Shall I erase this one? Okay. Okay. Now we can do some questions regarding overtaking questions. Okay. Okay, question number 1. This graph. Okay, leave a space. Leave enough space to. Okay, Bati. Okay, it's okay. So you can draw. You have to draw this graph. So leave enough space. Okay, leave enough space, and write the question. Okay, question. At the same instant, car A passes a certain point. With a velocity of 9 ms minus 1. Car B it starts. I will repeat this. I will repeat that one. It's car B. It starts moving from rest. To start moving from rest. From the same point. From the same point. From the same point. From the same point. Okay, I will repeat that one. I will repeat that one. At the same moment, or at the same instant, at the same moment, car A passes a certain point. Car A passes a certain point with a velocity of 9 ms minus 1. With a velocity of 9 ms minus 1. Come on. Car B starts moving from rest. From the same point. From the same point. Car B has a constant acceleration. Has a constant acceleration. Constant acceleration of 4 ms minus 2. 4 ms minus 2. and car A has a constant acceleration of 1 ms minus 2. Find the time taken. Find the time taken to pass A. Find the time taken to pass A by B and displacement from the starting point. Find the time taken to pass A by B and the displacement from the starting point. Okay, the second question. You have to leave enough space. You have to leave enough space to draw this graph. Then write the question. The above figure shows the VT curves of two cars starting their motion from the same starting point at the same instant. show that they will meet, show that they will meet two times after starting their motion. And find the distance. Find the distance to the above 2 points, from the starting point. Find the distance to the above 2 points from the starting points. Okay. Okay. Everyone, look at the board again. So if you are asked to do a question like this, that means question like this means overtaking question. Okay, overtaking, no meet again. Okay, this type of question, actually we have done several examples in our previous classes. We have done several examples. If two objects start their motion from the same starting point at the same instant, then so what is the requirement to be fulfilled if one object passes the other after a while? Then we have done another case. If one object start its motion, and after a while, after a few seconds, the second object start its motion, and second object passes the first object after a while during their motion. So what is the requirement for that one? Then we have done another instance, another case. If two objects are not in the same point, suppose one object is something like this point, and other object is not at the same point, it is something behind that. Then if they have start their motion at the same time, then what is the requirement to be fulfilled to overtake the first object by the second object? So those kind of examples, we have done those kind of examples. So considering all the cases, can anyone tell me, so what is the common requirement what is the common requirement to be fulfilled when one object overtakes the other? So what is the common requirement? What is the common requirement to be fulfilled if one object overtakes the other? Can anyone tell me?
There should be a difference between the acceleration of two. That means if one is traveling with 1 ms minus 1, if the other one is traveling with 3 ms minus 1, then the one traveling with 3 ms minus 2 has 2 ms minus 2 acceleration than the previous one.
Yeah, your answer is somewhat correct. Acceleration, but it is not common. It is not common. No, no, no. Displacement must be greater than the other. No, that is not. So what is the common thing for all the cases? What is the common thing? When one object overtakes the other, what is the common thing? Yes, very good. The displacement. No. If one object overtakes the other, that means both are at the same point. At that moment, both are at the same point. No. If both objects are at the same point, that means the displacement of both objects should be equal. Should be equal. So that is the common thing. That is a common thing. Okay. So that is a common thing for all the cases. Okay. Then there are some another requirements to be fulfilled according to cases. According to cases, but the common thing is if one object overtakes the other, both are at the same point at the moment of overtaking. Okay, did you get my point? තේරුණාද? අනිවාර්යෙන් overtake කරනවා නම් overtake කරන වෙලාවෙදී අනිවාර්යෙන් දෙන්නම එකම තැන ඉන්න ඕන. එකම තැන ඉන්න ඕන කියලා කියන්නේ displacement equal වෙනවා. Did you get my point? Yanush?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Hi. That is a common thing, or that is the common thing to be fulfilled when one object overtakes the other. Other thing, you have to remember this thing. If you want to overtake, so suppose this blue car is moving ahead of you. You are in this black car. Okay. So if you want to overtake this blue car, what should you do? Now you are driving a car. You are driving this black car, and blue car is moving ahead of you, and you need to overtake this blue car. So what should you do? Yes, you have to increase your velocity. Otherwise, you cannot overtake this car. If your velocity is equal to the velocity of this car, you can never pass this one. You can never pass this one, no? If your velocity is smaller than the velocity of this blue car, then you can never pass this blue car. If you want to pass this blue car, definitely your velocity should be greater than the blue car. Otherwise, you cannot pass. No, that is a common thing. That is a common thing. The common thing is that is very practical understanding, no? Okay, I will send that. I will send the recording. So, if you want to overtake an object which is moving ahead of you, definitely you have to have greater velocity than this object. Otherwise, you cannot pass that object. Okay, so definitely the second object should have a higher velocity than the first object if the second object overtakes the first one. Okay, right. But you cannot build a equation using that requirement. You cannot build an equation. It is an inequation, no? No? It is an inequation. The second car, the velocity of second car is higher than the velocity of first car. Means it is an inequation, not an equation. Okay, but we don't know actually. As a if you are a student, you have you can solve that problems with an inequations, but we are not math students, no? So we cannot solve inequations problems. So we have to have an equation. So there should be a characteristic to build an equation. There should be a characteristic to build an equation. So that is the first requirement. What is that one? If one object overtakes the other, the moment of overtaking, the both objects are in the same point. Therefore, the displacement of both objects should be equal. Okay. All right. So that is the characteristic to build an equation. Okay. Therefore, there are so many requirements, but we cannot build an equation from the other requirements, like velocity. So velocity of the second object should be higher than its first object, but we cannot build an equation from that. Okay. So for this characteristic, we can build an equation. Okay. So if any object overtakes another object, the common characteristic is their displacement should be equal. Then the other question. So if you are given a velocity time curve, how to find displacement? And if you are given displacement time curve, ST curve, how to find displacement? Suppose this one. ST curve. This is P, this is Q half. Okay, this is ST curve of two cars, P and Q. Okay. I have drawn similar curves to understand. So now you are given a ST curve. So using this ST curve, please tell me, so what is the overtaking point? What is the overtaking point? According to this ST curve, what is the overtaking point? What is the overtaking point? According to ST curve. I need responses from everyone. Only one student. So what is this overtaking point? Why you select A? I A के लिए select करते? Why did you select A? Yes, very good. The point is displacement should be equal. Displacement should be equal. So if it is a ST curve, displacement are equal at the intersecting point. So intersecting point means this one. No? So at the intersecting point, the displacement of both P and Q are equal. Therefore, they are at the same location at this moment. So if there is an overtaking, that should be happen at this point. Okay. Okay, then if you are given a VT curve, now tell me what would be the overtaking point? What would be the overtaking? I need responses from everyone, okay? What would be the overtaking point? Yes, very good, very good, very good. The point B. It is a possible point, okay? Possible point because we don't know the values, but that might be the point because the displace for using VT curve, displacement is measured using the area under the graph. Therefore, the overtaking point is the point where the area under the graph is equal. Okay. So if you are consider this example, area under this graph is something like this. Area under this graph is something like this. So you can clearly see this portion is a common portion. This portion is a common portion. Therefore, you have to consider only this triangle and only this triangle. Okay. If they are seems to be equal, that means the point B might be the point of overtaking. Okay. Therefore, if there's an overtaking, it might be happen at the point B. And so that is the way of determining the overtaking point. So if you are given a ST curve, the intersecting point is the point of overtaking. Okay. So if you are given a VT curve, the point where the area of the graph are equal, that is the overtaking point. Okay. Now you can do these two questions. Try to do these two questions. Okay, have you completed? Complete करा दो. No. First question. First question है करो करती है क्या? If you completed the first question, please let me know. First question. No. Rashani, first question. Have you done the first question? No. Tusha? Have you done Buddha? Okay. Okay. Shall we do? According to first question, you have to find the time time taken to pass A by B. No. So we will overtake A, and you are asked to find the time taken by B to pass A. So as this is a velocity time graph, the overtaking point, the common requirement when there is an overtaking, the common requirement is the both objects should be at the same point. That means the displacements are equal. Okay. So as this is a VT curve, the displacement is measured by the area under the graph. Therefore, you have to select a location where the area under the graph is equal for both cases. Therefore, as this is a common area for both graphs, these are the two areas you have to be considered. Okay. So if these two areas are equal, then area under the graph in both cases will be equal. So you have to select a point something like this. So this will be the point of overtaking. Suppose time taken is t. Suppose time taken is t. So if it is t, you know the gradient is 4. The gradient is 4. So this height should be 4 times t. This height should be 4 times t. and this one. If you draw up right angle triangle here, this side should be equal to t times 1 t. How did I get that one? How did I get that one? Suppose this is alpha and this is theta. If this one is alpha puta, suppose this is y. Now this is y1, this is y2. This side. So tan alpha is equal to this height. Suppose O, A, B, C, D, E. So tan alpha is equal AB over OB, AB over OB, AB, opposite side, AOB, adjacent side. So tan alpha means the gradient of this graph. The gradient of this graph means acceleration, because this is a VT curve. Therefore, acceleration means the gradient of this graph. It is given as 4. Therefore, the gradient of this graph is 4. That means tan alpha is equal to 4. So 4 is equal AB over OB. You have taken OB as T, capital T. So this one is T. Therefore, AB length is 40. Likewise, you can calculate DE length. DE length. This one is taken from OAB triangle. Then I can consider CDE triangle. CDE triangle. From CDE triangle, tan theta, I can write an expression for tan theta. Tan theta is equal, opposite side over adjacent. Opposite side is AE, adjacent means CE. AE over CE. AE over CE means that is equal to T, no? It is equal to capital T, CE. Again, tan theta means the gradient. The gradient of a VT curve means acceleration. It is given as 1. It is given as 1. Therefore, tan theta should be equal to 1. So AE should be equal to T. A should be equal to T. You know this one. You know this one. So when there's an overtaking, the displacement should be equal. So when you have to write this, argument when B passes A, what will happen? SB should be equal SA. This is the argument. SB is equal SA. SB means OBA, the OAB triangle. OAB triangle. SA means this one. OCDB. OCDB trapezium. OCDB trapezium. Now you can write an expression for these two areas. Triangle means half into the base into perpendicular height. Base is T, perpendicular height is 40. Triangle, so trapezium, addition of two parallel sides. So this side is 9. It is given 9. This side is 9. So this one is 9. 9 plus 9, 18. 18 plus t, no? 9 plus 9 plus t over 2 times perpendicular height is t. Perpendicular height is t. So half t will be cancelled out. Therefore, 4t is equal 18 plus t. Therefore, 3t is equal 18. That means t is equal 6. So t is equal 6 seconds. T is equal 6 seconds. T is equal 6 seconds. 6 seconds. Okay. Did you get my point? Everyone, I need your responses. Did you get my point? How did I get this answer? How did I do the calculation? Okay, very good. Now you have found the time taken to pass A by B. Then the displacement you can use this time and apply that time to one of these equations. So displacement is equal half 40 squared. No, 40 squared means 4 times t squared means 36. So that is equal 72 meters. 72 meters. 72 meters. Okay. Try this one. Nireshika, good afternoon. Then the Harry.
නෑ සර් මල ගෙදරක් තිබ්බයි කිය.
Harry.
සර් රෙකෝඩින් එක යවන්න පුළුවන් නේ ෂූට් එකේ.
Recording කර. දැන් මේ අන්තිම ටික තියන්නේ recording එක කරන්න.
Thank you.
Harry. Okay, shall I erase this one? Put it? Shall I erase this one? Okay. So if it is a essay question, if it is an essay question, put there, where you have to calculate this one as this way in the but if it is MCQ question, you actually you can you have to remember this method. Actually, I have told you that one. If the gradient is 4, the x-axis is t, then y-axis means gradient times t. Gradient times x-axis. Okay. 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 In the second question, the first thing you have to do is you have to show the 2 points of overtaking. That means there are 2 separate points of overtaking. So what are those points? What are those points? Look at this one. You can clearly see this height, sorry, this length. This length is 4, this height is 8. And this height is 8, this length is 4. That means the area of these two graphs are equal. So that means at 8 second, the area of A and area of B will be equal. Suppose this one A, this one B. So therefore, at 8 second, the area of both will be equal. So you can write this one O, A, B, C, D. So you can put here, right? OAB triangle is equal to BCD triangle. Okay. What is the reason? AB is equal to BD and AO is equal to CD. Therefore, the area of both triangles are equal. So, area under the curves at 8 second is equal. Therefore, SA at 8 second is equal at T equal 8 is equal SB at T equal 8. Therefore, at T equal 8, both A and B will be met. Or what is it? Well, going to B or B passes C. B passes C. Or at that A and B meet will be. Therefore, A and B will be met at equal 8. That is first one. So at T equal 8, both are at the same point. Then after that, you can clearly see this length and this length are equal 4, 4. And this side are equal 8, 8. Therefore, again, at this point, T equals 16, the displacement should be equal. Therefore, these two areas are equal, so at this point, the both areas should be equal. Then you can write C, D, E, F, G. Therefore, then you can write C, D, E triangle. The area of CD triangle is equal E, F, G triangle because CF, CE equal EG and CD equal FG. CD equal. Base and height are equal, therefore both are equal. The area of both triangles are equal. So, therefore, SA at T equal 16 equal SB at T equal 16. Therefore, there are 2 points where the 2 cars meet each other. That are T equal 8 second and T equal 16 second. T equal 8 second and T equal 18 second. You can complete that answer writing this sentence. Therefore, there are 2 points where the 2 cars will meet each other that are t equal 8 second and t equal 60 second. Then you have to find the displacement when t equals 8 and when t equals 60 separately. I think it is easy. T equal 8, you can, and this one is 16, this one is 8. 8 into 16 over 2, that means 64. 64. Okay. So displacement. Now I can write displacement. Therefore, S displacement at t equal 8 is equal half into this part is 8, this height is 16. 8 into 16 means 8 into 8, that means 64 meter. Then S at 16 equals 16. So this part is 64. Then this part is 8 to 8, 8 into 16, no? 8 into 16. 64. This part is 64, Puta. This area is 64. So you have to calculate this area. This is a rectangle. One side is 8. This length is 8. This height is 16. So 16 into 8 plus 16 into 8. 16 into 8. 16 into 8. Therefore 64 plus 64. 8 into 2. 64 into 2. 16 into 80 means so the displacement is 192 meter. 192 meter. Okay. Heavy another. Can you share? Okay. Then I will give you homework. I will send that one in WhatsApp. Okay. You have to do that thing also. That is based on ST curves. ST curves. Okay. All right. So you have to remember one thing. What that is. When there is an overtaking, the displacement of both objects should be equal. So if you are given a VT curve, you have to show the displacement. Displacement means area under the graph are equal. If it is a ST curve, that is very easy. The intersecting point. The intersecting point means the both displacement are equal at that point. Okay. Therefore, that is very easy. You have to remember that thing. Okay. Now we can finish today's class. Today's extra class, Buddha. I will send you the 3 examples regarding ST curves or taking questions. Okay. So then I will send you the class schedules. If you have any concern, please let me know. Okay. I will send that. I will send the proposed class schedule. That is not the finalized class schedule. I will send a proposed class schedule. So you have to give your vote. Based on your votes, I will finalize a date topic. හරි. එහෙනම් අද අපි class එක finish කරමු. complete කරමු. Okay පුතේ. Again have a nice day. ආපහු පුතේ. welcome. Welcome.